crafty friends, Laura here after a long delay, rest, break, whatever we want to call it. This layout is for Stick It Down, and helpfully I have forgot to put the sketch in the video. I will leave a link below so you can go and check out the sketch. I'm very out of practice, so you'll have to excuse me. But I will attempt to talk you through what I'm doing. I have got a stencil from Skull and Crossbones and some little blender brushes from iCrafter and my Pink Fresh ink cubes, and I'm just throwing a little bit of colour onto the background. These iCrafter brushes, this is the first time I've used them. I'm getting them in my advent calendar, one a day. There's 10 in the set. I don't think I complete the set until Christmas Eve, along with a few other bits in my calendar, some dyes from Pink Fresh again, and a few embossing powders from Wow. So I'm very much enjoying that, even if I'm not creating very much at the moment. So for a first attempt, I'm quite pleased with the brushes. They're very small, which makes them ideal for stencil work. Makes them a bit less ideal for covering huge backgrounds. I think possibly I may still need to get a bigger blending brush if I want to do backgrounds and ink blending. Perhaps that's where some Christmas money will go. Anyway, the sketch shows 6 circles across the page in 2 rows of 3. I'm switching out the circle and I'm using some tags because why not? This is a bit of a nothing layout. It's creating for creating's sake. It's not any great memory keeping feat or wonderfulness, whatever the word is. It's just creating, and I'm having fun. I'm attempting to do an ombre blend on some of the tags. I've cut them on my Silhouette Cameo in white, and I'm just going to add some colour to 5 of them, because the 6th tag is actually the photo. I'm going to attempt to spread out my colours fairly evenly. I've got 2 shades of yellow, a peach, and then I've brought in a green and a blue. When they're blended together, they match the photo. When they're on their own, they give a couple of different tones, a bit of variation. These blending brushes are, as you can see, coloured. Each brush has a different coloured handle, and the idea is that you use the yellow brush on the yellow inks, the blue brush on the blue inks, green brush, the green inks. As I haven't got them all out yet, I'm cheating and I'm just doing whatever on whatever. Not ideal. I do have to wash the yellow brush afterwards, and it did take a fair while to dry out completely. About 2 days really. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend having an advent calendar with parts in different days. It's very frustrating if you want to get going. Anyway, patience is a virtue. The sketch also has 3 little strips, blocks, pieces of patterned paper down the bottom. So I'm going to try and bring the colours from the main section down into the bottom section as well. So I've coloured up a peach strip, and I'm going to cut a couple more strips, different widths and lengths. I am going to paint the smallest strip with metallic gold paint. I'm going to add, here we go with the paint, a fair few gold splatters in the background. This paint is the Gansai Tambi gold. Obviously it comes in a full pan. I've got perhaps a quarter of a pan and popped it in my palette. It's the only Gansai Tambi colour I use, and it's a lovely gold, but to get a complete solid gold I'm going to need to do perhaps 3 or 4 coats on this little strip of paper to build up a nice opacity. So while I've been painting and planning and rummaging through my stash, I've turned the camera off and now decided that I want to add some stamping. I'm going to add stamping to, I think, 3 of the tags and the strip of pattern paper that will go at the bottom. I'm adding my Misty Insert foam underneath my stamping just to give me a nice squishy surface to stamp onto. The stamps are from Crafty Jen Scowl. I am using a dark grey ink. I thought black would be too harsh with the very soft pastel colours that I'm using. So I've opted for a dark grey. In hindsight, I could maybe have gone a shade lighter with my grey. It's an Altenew ink, and the cubes come in a pack of 4, ranging from very pale to very dark of whatever colour family you buy. So in hindsight, I would have chosen the next lightest grey, I think. It does dry back a little bit, maybe a little bit lighter than it looks at the moment. I've also pulled out some matching coloured bits and bobs from my stash, and I'm going to make a small cluster on one of the tags, just using some bits and bobs. I've got a couple of stickers, a bit of a label. That butterfly is cut out from a birthday card I received this year. Often save cards and reuse bits and pieces if I can, either in card making or in my scrapbooking. I'm going to attach the butterfly just by the body, so the wings have got a bit of lift to add a bit of dimension. I'm pretty sure I've changed order of the tags, I don't know, 5 times since I started the layout. They'll probably change around again. I'm happy with how they end up. But I was aware that the yellow was definitely changing corner. I've got a date ephemera piece from Pretty Little Studios, which I thought fitted perfectly but was a little bit too long, so I've cropped it down and added a hole, so that will be attached to one of the tags. Going ahead and adhering the bottom cluster down. I've got my gold piece, my stamped piece, and my peach strip. To bring the greeny bluey colour down from the top, I'm going to add some enamel hearts. These are shape sprinkles from Doodlebug, which I get from Lottie Loves Paper pretty much every time she has a new shipment of stock. And, oh yeah, I need some more of them. They're perfect for embellishing. Attempting to get it all completely straight and aligned and central, and it's not by the end, but hey, I don't think it matters. I'm going to put a row of 3 equally spaced hearts on the peach strip, and that's bringing that greeny bluey colour down from the top of the layout. I'm looking at the tags on the background and wondering if I need a bit more contrast. I'm going to move on to adding my title whilst I think about that. It does take a little bit of pondering to get back into the swing of scrapping after having a bit of a break. I'm going to add that diagonally across the tag, and that just says smile. Again, that's a Jen Scowl stamp. That's pretty much the design set. I want to add something through the holes of the tags because I'm not a fan of naked tags. I find some peachy ribbon. I think it was something that came on a label on some clothes, I think. I'm just going to glue a little snippet of that through each hole on each tag. And I'm still thinking about the background and umming and ahhing while I'm doing this. I've popped the tags up on foam squares, and that added a little bit of shadow, but I still didn't think that it was enough for the contrast between the tag and the background. So again, I've gone to my Gen Scale stamps, and there's some squiggles. I guess you could say they were thread nests, but stamped thread nests. And I'm just adding a few, not too much, just a little bit to add a bit of that dark grey pop behind the tags. And again, going to try and get things central. I'm sure it's not central by the end, but hey, I've done my best. Don't even think the ruler's straight there, is it? Anyway, popping those in place, and then I think we're pretty much done. I did wonder if I needed one more stamp, but as they were all in place, I decided it wasn't worth risking the layout for one last stamp. So here are the close-ups. This is Stick It Down's December sketch. So if you use this sketch and link up before the end of the month, you will be in with a chance of winning. I'll leave all the details below. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. See you next time.